Ta-da! Hey, happy Thursday, everyone. My name is Adam Ruff, and I'm a product designer, and I'm trying out my new fiber internet that I got installed today. So far, it's great, but apparently I did something wrong in YouTube settings, and I still don't. We're not receiving video at a fast enough rate. You need to change video resolution. You can't do any of this while you're streaming live, and if you stop, then you can't start it again. Anyways, yeah, so this week and next week, the plan is to focus on demoing some of the activities and tools and skills that will help you enter and win UX Design Contest 11, which is all about running a survey-based user research study. Let me get links going. Pop this in. Feel welcome to say hey in chat. What? I'm not actually seeing anything appear in chat. Aha! I hid something because I was trying to zoom. Hey Ralph, good to see you. I'm gonna have to be playing with chat a little bit. Last week I wasn't able to stream. My vision was really blurry. My vision's still pretty blurry today, but I'm gonna try to power through it. I'm probably gonna be zooming in on stuff a lot. Hopefully that makes it even easier for you to see as well. But yeah, really frustrated. I feel like I've got this cornea condition in my eyes, and I feel like I don't know if I'm ever gonna see clear again. There's a procedure that I can do that should help temporarily, but I'm gonna be like looking in. Bansari, hello, welcome. What's really frustrating, I'll show you this because it's interesting. We're user experience designers. We're a user experience UI, UX, product design community. And one of the interesting things is I'll show you. Whoops, that's not what I'm trying to show you. I can zoom in on YouTube, and this I can read clearly, right? This text. I don't have to like press my face up to the screen, which is great. Unfortunately, on my YouTube controls, I'll pull it up over here. Whoop. I won't make it so big. But because that YouTube chat is part of this YouTube domain, everything YouTube gets blown up too, which is frustrating. So I'm gonna share this with YouTube, this feedback, because to make this really friendly, when you pop out a chat, you should be able to independently size the text. So this is something, as I'm dealing with this blurry vision, is becoming more and more important to me. I'm dealing with a lot of accessibility issues. Not one that you might think of, right? We think of like people using screen readers, people who are colorblind. We don't tend to think about, at least I haven't in the past. Maybe you do, which is great, kudos. But I haven't thought much about people who have blurred vision or blurry vision or just aren't seeing very clearly the impact of that on their experience. Anywho, let's get started. So we've got a couple hours tonight. This is the first of 2 streams. Like if we go check out the contest details, especially I should talk a little bit about what this contest is before we dive in. So as I mentioned, it's all about designing and running a survey-based user research study. Entries due in 10 days. You can earn some money for charity. You can earn a portfolio review. All good stuff. The idea behind these contests that I run are really that they are impactful, right? They help you build your portfolio. They help you exercise a wide variety of skills. And by winning money for charity, you're also having a bigger impact on the world. You can check all this stuff out. I suppose I'll pop this link in here too. Why not? I like dropping links, so I think I do. Now I don't see the link. Concerns me when I don't see things that I put in there. All right, I'm gonna just trust that it's an issue on my end. If you want to let me know in chat, if you don't see a link to UX Design Contest 11, let me know and I'll try it again. I'll skip to this. So tonight, we're really going to be talking about designing the survey-based user research study, thinking about the kinds of questions that we might want to ask in a survey and what types of research lend themselves well to surveys. And then next week, so before we go to next week, tonight, by the end of this 2 hours, I want to have a survey ready that I can send out to a group of people who I think might be interested in participating in the survey. Hopefully I get some data, and then the next week I'm going to demonstrate looking at the data, analyzing it, synthesizing it, and turning that into a research presentation, which is an important part because doing the research is great. Finding out some interesting things, learning some things, cool. Being able to turn that into something actionable, communicating and sharing that information so other people learn those things as well, and turning that into proposals or experiment ideas will be the focus. All right. With that said, I'm going to zoom in on this doc so I can read it a little bit better. I wonder if I can take... It's actually a little bit more clear. It's ironic, huh? But because my condition changes the shape of my cornea, depending on the day, it's a little bit like the weather, but it changes my prescription a little bit. So actually I can see a little bit more clearly without my glasses, which is kind of freaky. All right. So one of the things I did was I just started a brain dump list of some questions for research study ideas, right? So something I'm personally interested in is I've run a bunch of these contests, right? 11 contests. 2 of the contests, 0 people entered. 0. It means like you could have been one person and spent, an hour doing something and you would have won a cool contest. And there are 9 contests where multiple people entered. So it's like, I'm kind of curious, like why? Like I'm curious about things like what makes a good design contest? Why do people participating in design contests? Or even more importantly, why don't people participate in these design contests? I think the term design contest has a little bit of a bad rap, right? Like it's like 99 designs, like spec work, like you're competing for the possibility to win some client work, making some logo or something that isn't necessarily going to turn into a great exercise of your skills or portfolio case study. But this is different. So who participates? Also about tuning into YouTube to watch this, right? We're talking about design. It's a live time. We can chat. We can do things together. Who watches this stuff? Why? Who doesn't watch it? Why not? I think part of it is still fairly new. There's not a million people doing this. I got to talk with this guy yesterday, not yesterday, but last week. I'm trying to remember exactly how to pronounce his name. Bernat? I gotta remember to plug his YouTube channel because he's doing He's doing a startup. He's a designer at a startup, and he is streaming his design work. Anyways, I've listed a bunch of questions. I recommend doing the same thing. So I started out with just a list of top level bullets, and you can see there's one question that I really dove in a little bit more, because this one particularly caught my interest. Like, why don't more designers participate in UX design contests? Like, I'm operating under the assumption that UX design contest is low barrier to entry. It exercises or teaches or helps you grow your skills, which is good, which I think designers want. I think it's fun. Like, I think I create contests that make sense and seem interesting, but I don't know. These are my assumptions. And then again, you can win something. So you win money for charity. You win, a mentoring session or a portfolio review or just bragging rights, right? Something to add to your resume. And so this is the question, like, is it just an awareness thing? What is it? So what I also thought was good is where this question comes from is the UX design contest mailing list. Like, if we go, that's something. Actually, let me check something real quick. Is there a way to get notified about other contests? Yes, right here. So I have an email list of people who are interested in UX design contests. The last time I checked, it was over 1,100 people. That's a ton of people. So to run a contest where 1,100 people are presumably interested in the idea and have, such a small percentage participate, that really makes me think, cool, this is a great audience to ask these kinds of questions. The other thing I'll comment on is, because we're talking about survey research, I'm also thinking about what kind of research makes sense and which lends itself to surveys. And in my experience, one of the things that surveys can be very effective at are establishing a baseline. I did this fairly recently with one of my partners, Rhonda at AngelList. We sent out a product UX satisfaction survey and got a baseline on a number of different experiences. Cool. That was really effective. We got it out to a whole bunch of people. We got a bunch of responses, and now we have some baseline data. So the next time we run the survey, after we've invested in the product, we've improved some features, hopefully improved the experience, we'll be able to measure again and see, did we improve in any of these areas? So that's one thing that survey research is really good for. Another thing I think survey research can be really helpful for is for generating ideas or learning about things. It's like, if you look at some of my questions here, that's really what I'm doing with this high-level question, right? I'll bold this so we know. Why don't more designers participate in UX design contests? That's what I want to learn. The types of things that I might ask people, I started brainstorming. Like, why did you sign up to be notified? When you use an open-ended question like that, you are going to learn things that probably are going to surprise me a little bit. There may be some things that make sense, kind of match with my assumptions a little bit, but I'm also expecting to be surprised. Some of these are qualifying questions. How many UX design contests have you entered? I want to know, I can qualify the feedback by knowing, this person said a bunch of things. Have they actually entered a contest? I'm going to weigh that differently for someone who's entered 3 contests versus someone who hasn't entered a contest, right? And so my ideas here are a mix of kind of open-ended questions as well as trying to, I had this in here, trying to make the survey short so that more people finish. I have some ideas about why people might not enter. So rather than do an open-ended question, in order to group responses more quickly and turn some of this information into quantitative data, I want to ask questions like this, where it's multiple choice. You can pick multiple things, right? Were the requirements unclear? Did you just miss a deadline? Did it seem like it was too much work? Did you want to keep things private? Did you not want, were you concerned about, having something you do be in the public eye, right? Did you simply forget about it? Did you never hear about it? Maybe the email went to spam and you literally never knew I ran any contests. Did it seem too difficult? I guess this is, have you entered? Too much work and too difficult probably mean the same thing. And when you're using this tactic of applying multiple choice questions, it's always a good idea to add another category. So even though you have a good idea or you've made some guesses about what you think common reasons are, you can also be surprised and learn something new. Also looking at like, why did people participate? I'm noticing one thing. This is a little tip. So when you see a lot of repetitive information, it can be really strong to move that out. So when your options begin with unique words that you can scan, it's a lot more helpful, right? So I wish we could just, right? It's like build portfolio, show off, win, exercise. I guess there's a lot of win. These are specific things about the prizes, I guess. Right. Okay. If anyone in chat has any questions about the type of research we talked about, like setting a baseline or learning something, right? Generative research, I think those can lend themselves really well to the surveys. I know Ralph is pretty big on research. I'm curious if he already has some ideas for a survey that he wants to run. Because I think with this information in hand, we are ready to start building the survey. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate creating the survey as quickly as I can and thinking aloud while I do it in two platforms that I really like. Well, one of them is I pretty much use Typeform exclusively, but Google Forms is also an interesting one. That's very popular. So I'm going to use these two platforms and show off some of the ways you can use these very quickly. So let's go ahead and create a new Typeform. I've already logged into my Typeform account. Oh no. Where's just the, oh, here it is. Start from scratch. Great. All right, so this is going to be UX Design Contest 11 Demo Survey. What am I creating? I'm creating a research survey. What's it for? I would call this customer research because the group of people who I'm going to send this survey to are essentially customers, right? They've signed up to an email list to be notified about UX design contests. So there's a few different ways to get started, right? One is from scratch, the other one's from a template. There's a couple things that I always like to do. I like to do a welcome screen. We'll talk about that. I'm actually just going to seed this really quickly. I'm going to add a thank you screen, and then I'm going to sandwich things in between. So I think what I'll do, I'll try to get this fitting on the screen so we can all see it. Then I can cut. I won't be able to exactly copy and paste unless I do. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Okay, I think this will work. Let me know if you have any difficulty in seeing things. So what have I got here? I've got, let's think about what type of question this is. So this is an open-ended question. How many design contests have you entered? Now, I could make that an open-ended question. I think it's probably going to be more helpful to do something like 1 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 9. Whoops, 6 to 9. More than 9. More than 10. I don't think we need that. I'm talking about UX design contests specifically. So there we go. I know no one's done more than 9. So that's going to be a multiple choice. That one's obvious. This one can be a simple yes/no with a nested question. So I'm going to show that there. Open-ended. And we might think of some more questions, but we'll take a stab and we'll actually go through and complete the survey to get an idea of how quickly it is to complete it. One of the goals I have is to keep the survey really short so people don't have to spend a lot of time working on it. All right, so I'm going to go in here and click add a question. I'm going to add a short text. Why did you sign up to be notified? I don't think that needs a paragraph, just a simple sentence. And then I have a multiple choice question. And then I have 2 multiple choice questions. I'm not actually going to ask both of them, but I'm going to use some logic branching. And then a yes/no question. And then an open-ended question. I think there's another question that I would like to answer. If you're in charge, what would you do? This one's going to be more of a long text question. It's something about, like, if they have entered a contest. Nah, let's just go with this first. All right. Before we copy and paste these questions over into the Typeform, something I'm going to do is start with this welcome screen. And I'm going to bring this back over so we can see this preview and show you a little bit what it's going to do. So I'm going to click on the wrench. I'm going to add an image. I'm going to upload an image. Cool, there's UX Design Contest 11. I guess I don't know that it really makes sense to be about 11. Maybe I actually have another question. Maybe have another image. Let's see what this one is. I think this one's more generic. There we go. Cool. So this is UX design contest survey. I'm going to put a little, I'm going to turn on the description by toggling it here. This, I'm going to use, can I use emoji yet? I forget if this breaks things. We'll try it. For the longest time, like, I love Typeform, and I've just really been disappointed and frustrated with their lack of emoji support. It might work now though, so let's try it out. Please help me make UX design contest better for you by taking 1 to 2 minutes to provide some feedback. Great. Start. Cool. I already called out the time. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll do something like estimated time to complete is less than 2 minutes. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do my usual thing so it's not buried in there. By providing some quick feedback. There we go. Nice. All right. That's that. So that's the welcome screen. We can do more of the design stuff later. Now we're ready to copy and paste some of this stuff in. Why did you sign up? Next. How many UX design contests have you entered? And now I've got choices. 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 9. Great, and now I've got this one. Should I ask people's names and email? Should I ask people's names? One of the things you can do with Typeform that's really cool, and I guess this would be good even just to show off this feature, even if I don't end up using it. Let me do a short text. I'm going to move this here, and I'm going to say, hi, what's your name? And then watch what I can do. Then I can say, why haven't you entered any contests? And then we add the variable. Forget if there's a little shortcode for this. Here it is, recall information. Here I am. Add, and then you can add a response to a question. So you can add name. Great. So we'll do that for now. We may change that. And let's enter these options. Wasn't interested in the project. Did I just say wasn't interested? Wasn't interested in the project. In the topic? The project? The topic? In the project. Too much work. Where's my cursor? Didn't like the prizes. Missed the deadline. Unclear requirements. Don't want my entry shown publicly. Forgot about it. Is forgot about it the same as missed the deadline? Never heard about it. And then we can do an other option. Go to the wrench and toggle on other option. Wasn't interested in the projects. Did you say didn't like the projects? Didn't like the projects, too much work, didn't like the prizes, missed the deadline, unclear requirements. Unclear what to do. Maybe a simpler language. What to do to enter. Don't want my entry shown publicly. I used past tense, so didn't want my entry shown publicly. Forgot about it. Never heard about them. And other. Cool. One other thing that I'll do, which is cool about Typeform, is it will allow you to select multiple items, and then it pulls up this text. Oops, that makes it harder to see. It says choose as many as you like. And I'm going to let people pick as many as they want. And then another thing I'm going to toggle on is an option to randomize. So what that's going to do, why is randomization important? What randomization does is it helps make sure that people aren't just all like clicking the first thing or the last thing, right? And just moving on. Oh, I'm just going to like go through the survey really quickly. I'll just click the first thing, the first thing, the first thing, the first thing. I'm just going quickly. By randomizing it, you help minimize the impact of that kind of survey behavior. All right, I think that one's good to go. And actually, I know I set one up over here, but I'm gonna delete this one and I'm gonna duplicate this one. I'm gonna take advantage of this duplicate feature because now I've already got a question. I can remove the name because we just asked the name, or we just showed the name. We don't need to show it for every question. Why did you enter? Why did you enter a contest? The contest, yeah. Why'd you enter the contest? And now we've got, again, our little list of things. Wanted to build my portfolio, show off my design skills. Win prizes. Maybe I just simplify to win prizes. And if someone picks win prizes, I think this makes more sense. So here's what I'm going to do. Prizes with a Z. Next. And then I'll branch off. And if someone says they want to win the prizes, I'll dig in a little bit more of like what kind of prize are they interested in? What was interesting for them? What was the motivation? And then exercise my skills. exercise or grow? Grow is shorter, so I'm gonna short beats good, apply my short beats good tactic and say grow my skills. Win prizes, grow my skills, and then we've got the other option already baked in. Fantastic. Cool, we'll set up the logic in just a couple minutes. Have you ever entered any other design contest or competition? This I'm curious about. I don't think there are actually that many, but there are things like hackathons, and this is one where perhaps a description would be helpful, or it can give examples. Could be hackathons, could be design. I think I have a typo there. Design meetup. Design event competitions, etc. Cool, that's just a simple yes or no. And then I have, I have two open-ended questions that I actually want to ask, right? One of them is, how was that contest different? How is that contest different than UX design contest? Is that what I want to know? Do I want to know how it was different or how it was better? How is that contest different? How is that contest better? Even better. I love the power of putting even in front of things so that you can keep things really positive, right? If you say, how is this better than this? It implies that, right? How is B better than A? Implies that A is maybe not good, right? But if we use language like, how is B even better than A? A is good. A might even be great. B is just like even better, right? So even better. I love using that positive language. Alrighty. What's the next one? The last question was, if you were in charge of the next UX design contest, what would you do? And this one's just going to be a long form question. And then we have a thank you screen. For the thank you, I love doing... Do we do a social share? I suppose. I almost always turn these social icons off, but it doesn't hurt actually. We're not going to include... We want to remove the button to do the survey again. We do want to add a funny video. So let's see. This is a thank you. What animal do I want to see? How about a funny meerkat video? I'll go to videos, and I want something really short. Funny meerkats. Is this 1 minute 12 seconds? I think so, right? Alright, we're gonna be going into some funny meerkat video time. Oh no, it's falling asleep. Okay, it's cute, but it's not like a thank you cute. Alright, I'm getting ads and stuff. Come on, come on. Alright. We'll scratch this. Maybe I'll come back and look for a video later. I'm gonna go with an image. I'm gonna search Unsplash for something really cute. Preferably an animal, because I think animals, I mean a non-human animal. This one's cute. Like the puppy. Is that kind of like a thanks? That one might be it. The goose and the goslings are kind of cute. Puffin, the bunny. Doesn't totally get lost in this all day, right? Alright, let's just pick, what was that one I saw? There we go. I think this one's pretty sweet. Oh, what do I have to do now? There we go, add image. I think I selected it. Nice. And we can say thanks, you just made my day. And let's add some love in the form of non-anatomical hearts. We'll bring up the emoji viewer with Control Command Spacebar if you're on a Mac. And we'll just do, oh, we can do a rainbow. Wait. Red, yellow, green, blue, purple. Nice. Oops, and I want to add a, is there a place for description, or do I need to do shift? There we go. I'll use your feedback to make UX design contest even more awesome in the future. Cool. For designers. There we go. I think that's all we need. All right. I haven't hooked up Logic yet. Let's just to see what this looks like. I believe it's going to open in a new tab. No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, they have this new preview feature. So this is what it looks like. We'll go through real quickly and just actually do the survey. Hi, what's your name? My name's Adam. Why did I send to be notified about UX design contests? I thought I might be able to win a contest, and that would be awesome. That would be amazing. How many UX design contests have you entered? I've done 3 to 5. Let's see. Oh, this is where our logic breaks, right? We need to fix the logic. One of the other great things about Typeform for participants, people who are going to respond to the survey, is you can use keyboard shortcuts. So you can say like, it was too much work. Whoops. Once I get focus here. Oh, let me try this again. Why is it not working? Here we go. Okay, now let's do it. C, I hit it, right? I had too much work and didn't want my entry shown. F and I. I don't know, just make something up real quick. They didn't seem to focus on real world problems. Sure. I don't think that's true, but all right, why did you enter the contest? I want to build my, I want to build my portfolio and show off my design skills and win. Have you ever entered any other design contest or competition? Yes. How is that contest even better than design contest? I attended a hackathon that had food, swag, and experts that you could talk with to get help. Okay, there we go. If you're in charge of next UX design contest, what would you do? I would get some sponsors and a huge prize, like an iPad. Great, and then you submit it, boom, and then we got the thank you screen. Thanks, you just made my day. Use your feedback to make UX design contests even more awesome for designers. And then there are ways you can share it. Done. Boom. All right. I guess I just hit back button. I actually don't like that as much as I don't like that preview that takes over as much as what they used to do. They used to launch this in a new window, and now I can't launch it in a new window. I'll show you what the experience used to be like. The experience used to look like, oh, here, this view. This is what they had before. We should complain to Typeform that their preview thing is not as good as this. This gives you the real experience, right? The loading, everything. Of course, everything's right. We just went through this, but still, it's so nice to be able to be on the creation flow, have that view button, and then be able to see something and go back without having to load the page. This is way faster than hitting the back button and reloading all this stuff. So that's frustrating. I feel like that's a pretty big step backwards in the user experience with such a small thing. Again, little things can have big impacts, and for me, this is one of the small changes they've made that I don't like and that have negatively impacted my experience. Anywho, we have some logic to set up really quickly. So based on how many contests people have entered, we want to ask them one of two questions. So if they've never entered a UX design contest and they answer 0, we want to ask them, why haven't you entered any contests? If they've answered anything else, we want them to answer the question, why did you enter the contest? And I suppose we can do the little apostrophe S like that to include everyone. And the way that we're going to do that is by coming down here to this little forking branch that says logic jump. And we're going to add a logic jump. And when it's 0, we're going to go to 4. For every other case, we're going to go to 5. It's as simple as that. And you can actually see it visually. It's pretty cool, right? If you've done 0, you're going to go, why haven't you? If you did anything else, why did you enter? Boom, boom. Excellent. And there was one more, right? Have you ever entered any other design contest or competition? And then I have one question. If they answer yes, it'll go to, how is that contest even better than UX design contest? Right? Actually, what I struggle with answering that, I think I might keep different. I might switch. How is that contest different then? I'm torn. Different. I'll keep it. Let's add the logic jump real quick. So when they say yes, Oops, I'm doing the wrong question for the logic branch. Here we go. Logic jump. When it's yes, how is that contest even better? If it's no, they're going to the if you were in charge. And again, we can see interesting. Scrolling zooms in and out, which is kind of weird. And drag, and then you have to click and drag. Anywho, we can see that logic. Great, it's all set up. And now it should work. We can test it again real quick. Let me reload this. And we can do the design aspect, and then we're done. And we're going to do the same thing in Google Forms to show some of the differences between these tools. Adam, why did I sign up? I want to win contests. How many have you entered? A ton. Why did I enter them? A, B. Whoa. What happened? D. Okay. A. Wait a minute. What's going on? Is there a bug? Let me redo this. I want to capture what's happening because if there's a bug with Typeform, I want them to know. So enter, Adam, enter. I want to win contests, enter. D. Then I have A. A button doesn't work. Interesting. So there's a bug. The bug seems to be, let me write a note about this somewhere. Typeform bug. 2 multiple choice questions in a row. The second one loses keyboard control. Now it's got it. It's like I had to click on something. Why is this A? Clicked A. Yeah, it changed the response. That's such a bug. Oh man, that's a pretty serious bug. If they don't fix that, I don't know that I can actually use Typeform for this survey. So I'm gonna take a video. I can just show them this timestamp. What time is it? 6:53. 6:53 timestamp. Cool. We're going to show them this link, have them check it out. So I picked D. Pick D, it goes down here. Why did you enter the contest? I click A. It entered the previous selection as A. So I want to do this, but I have to click with my mouse. And then have I ever entered any other design contest competition? Yes. Hackathons. They had food and swag, even if you didn't win. Enter. I would get a sponsor for a big prize like an iPad. Submit. Cool. And we can actually see these results. I was playing around with it, so it's not going to be that helpful. But if you look at the average time to complete, like I was taking a long time that second time, so I've skewed the results. But based on how much time I was spending playing around with that bug. It looks like my guesstimate of taking less than 2 minutes is probably fairly accurate, and it probably even only takes around 1 minute. So I might change that estimate. Estimated time to complete is, I'm actually going to spell this out. There's plenty of room. And I'm going to change it to average time to complete is, and must spell it out, is less than 2 minutes. There we go. Because now I have data, so I can move from my estimate to my average time. And then there were a couple things I thought of. I have the multiple section, I have the randomize. I want to check to see if I've randomized other. This one should get it by default. Yep. And then were there any other multiple choice? Just that. I don't want that randomized. Cool. All right. So that's great. And then the other cool thing you can do with Typeform is do some cool design. They have a bunch of like pretty nice out of the box solutions. You'll see I have a lot of my own custom things that I've used over the years, and I'm trying to find, I guess maybe it's this one. Yeah, that looks like it. That's kind of the confetti of the UX design contest, so that's what I'm going to apply. And I can even refresh this and see the updated design. So now all of the questions, now I've got kind of the same background as the UX design contest website, right? That's cool. Great. All right, that's Typeform in a nutshell. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll just go ahead. I hope that they'll fix that bug because I'd really like to use Typeform. I'm going to turn on a couple things. Some things, again, pet peeves of Typeform, they don't automatically turn this on. I suppose it costs them something to send them an email when someone completes the Typeform. I think it's really important to get notified. So I'm going to turn this on. And this is going to be, I'm just going to say, you got feedback. I'll just say UX design contest feedback. Hot and fresh. There we go. Oh, nice. You can connect with Slack to get notified as well. That's cool. And then settings, English, percentage bar. You can change the language for different things. If you have ideas of things you want to say, it doesn't meet your tone, that level of control is super cool. Typeform branding, I can turn it off. Sure, don't need it. Redirect on completion. I don't think I'm paying at that level. That's kind of nice. I could just send them to UX design contest. I could also put it in the link. Now that I'm thinking about it, in the thank you, I can add a note about it, right? Also, there's still time to design and run your own survey-based research study. Get the details at UX Design Contest.com. Cool, and they'll be able to click that. Boom. Nice. All right. That's Typeform. I think we're done. We've gone through pretty much everything. This is literally set up that I could paste this link in an email and send it to everyone who's on the design contest mailing list. I'm not going to do that right now because of the bug we found. Let's check out Google Forms, which is another popular platform, especially I've seen internally within organizations. One of the nice things internally within an organization is it can automatically capture the email address of the person who is participating in the survey. That can be super powerful. And they also have a few other features. So let's show how I would do this survey through Google Forms. UX Design Contest Feedback Survey. I want to actually copy this, and I'm going to change this. Experience, UX Design Contest User Experience Survey, or Motivation Survey. What is this? What is this getting at? I'm just going to call it that. Let's keep it simple. This is simply UX Design Contest Survey. Great. Please help me make UX Design Contest better for you by providing some quick feedback. Average time to complete is less than 2 minutes. So I can keep that same stuff. And now I can go into my questions. Right, I start with this open-ended question. They give me multiple choice, but I can do a short answer. Select from the drop down here. And let's copy and paste. Okay. Adding a question. I really should be copying and pasting so I don't make typos that I don't see. 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 9, because it's letting me even entering them even if I can't see. And then Google Forms also offers an option to add other, where then someone can type in. Oh, I know something that I didn't do that Google is just reminding me. Required. Are these questions required for completion of the survey? So this is definitely required. This one's required. I didn't do this for Typeform, so before I forget, I'm actually going to go back and do that real quick. And then we'll jump right back in to Google Forms. So where's required? Here it is, required. Required. Now, you might say, hey, Adam, you're adding these logic branch questions as required. Is that going to cause a problem? It's a great question. And fortunately, the answer is no. If everything is working normally and there aren't any bugs, the logic jump will, for example, this one, if you've entered 0 contests, you go to why haven't you? This is a required question. If someone answers they've done 3 contests and they jump to this other question set, this question is not going to be required. They're not going to have to answer this. Required. Just making everything required. Why everything required? Because I really want to make sure my survey answers the questions that are going to get me the information that I want, and includes the minimal number of questions. So if I had anything that was optional, I would really push on myself and say, hey, do you need that? I could add an optional one. Let's do that actually real quick. I'll add one more. That'll be an optional one. It'll be a long text. Long text. Anything else you want to say to Adam Ruff, to the creator of UX Design Contest? The creator? I want to basically say, like, you know, the people who run the show. Anything else you want to say about UX Design Contest? That's probably the way to say about UX Design Contest. Cool, that one will be optional. That's saved. Coming to back to Google Forms. Now we can go to Google Forms. Doesn't work quite the same way in terms of logic branches where you can jump between question and question. However, they do allow you to go to sections. So I haven't created another section. I'll do that now. So now I have this new section. This new section is going to be untitled, and it's going to have a question. This is the why haven't you entered any UX design contests? I wonder, this is going to be a multiple choice. I'm just going to see what happens if I copy this list and paste it. I'm going to see what happens. Whoa, delight. Talk about delight. So you can copy a list and paste it in. Now we got to check Typeform. We got to check to see if it allows that. So let's just create a multiple choice question just to see what happens. Blah, 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 blah. All right, and now we have the choice and we have the list in our clipboard. Boom. Of course, they support it too. That's fantastic. That would have saved me some time when I was doing it the first time. All right, let's get rid of this before we forget to clean it up. Boom. All right. Back to Google Forms. I'm gonna add another. This one, we don't want other. Why'd you sign up? Cool. Why haven't you entered? So this question is going to, this is going to go to section 2. I see. Actually, let's do this. We need to make a new section. This is section 2. And then this is going to go to section 3. There we go. And this question is, why did you participate in the UX design contests? And we'll change this to multiple choice and we'll paste it in, and we're gonna delete these things here. Cool. We're definitely gonna add another option. That makes me wonder, did I add that for all of these? I don't think I did. Oh, there's other option. Oh, it doesn't show it. Why did you enter? Other option. Cool. All right, we got it. We got it. I do like how Google Form makes it clear there is the other option. That's another small low-hanging fruit that Typeform could actually improve upon. I don't remember how Google Forms plays with the required flag. Because I want to skip this section. This is... Why not? Why? I'm probably going to remove those. I think it's a little weird to show that to users. Let's just keep going and create the next section, which is going to be... Wait a minute. This one's why not. It's a little bit harder to work with Google Forms, I'm finding, when this thing is at the bottom, and because of the structure that they have it, their concept of these sections, right? Typeform, to be fair, also has these idea of question groups, but the way they're displayed is just a little different. Continue on. All right, so we're going to move this. How do I move this one? Move section. Interesting. All right. There we go. Y, and then you're gonna actually jump to continue on. If you do that, you're gonna do that. Great. All right, now I think we're in a good place. And then there's just a yes, no question. Checkboxes. Interesting. Drop down. So maybe we use a drop down for yes or no. Interesting, it actually suggested that. So paste in that question. We'll add this as required. See, the thing is, now for yes, rather than making another, rather than going to a next question, now we have to go to a section. Although, I could have said, I could have made another question. I'm just thinking about my logic jumps now, if I've set them up the best way. Let's try one more. Let me see if I can copy this question. Import, add video. Maybe down here, here, duplicate, okay. It's weird that you can drag questions, right? But you can't drag sections. There we go. So maybe it's this. Go to next section. Continue to next section. What will that go to? Go to 2, go to 2, go to 2. This might, I don't know if they can see, I don't know when they can see the questions. Let's actually preview this, which Google gets it right, I think. They open it in a new page. I don't know why Typeform changed that. But yeah, it's weird to see this question first, so it just doesn't work like that. I don't like Google's logic controls for their forms as much. It just doesn't seem like as good of a user experience for participants. All right, now I'm a little confused. Like, where did I end up? Continue on. Now I gotta do this other logic jump. I think for Google Form, obviously, because logic jumps are messy, I would actually just ask a different question. If you've participated in other design contests or competitions in the past, what made them better? What made them even better than UX design contest? And we do a paragraph text. And then we just keep that, and then we can just add the next question. If you're in charge, copy this one in and require it. Did we do that one? Yes, we did. Required. I think that's it. I think we added another non-required one in the type form, right? So we can do the same thing to make the comparison similar. And this one will not be required. And is there a way to... What happens if I don't enter that? I think now I can remove these section titles. Great. All right, now let's refresh. You signed on a survey, blah, blah. Why'd you sign up? A one-on-one contests. Ooh, I like the hover. It's not really accessible. It's kind of interesting. You can't maybe use the arrow key. Oh, arrow key. I was expecting to tab through it. I love that pulsing hover. I want to use that somewhere. That's interesting. So for hover and for focus, you can actually animate it. Let's see, you can animate the background. If you're giving that a shadow. Is it just opacity? Or is it changing size as well? Looks like it's changing size as well. Super cool. All right. If I've entered 0 contests, I get to, oh no. See, the logic broke. I need to double check the logic. It shouldn't go to this one. Go to section 2, continue to next section. I see. I need to skip it. I need to say go to section 3. Shoot. And then this goes to section 4. Okay. Now I think the logic is set up. All right, I'm not gonna enter in intelligible text. We're gonna go really quick. And we're gonna enter 0, and then we're gonna go next. Then why haven't you? Oh, this one should be checkbox. Gotta fix that. Should be checkbox. This is why doing the surveys is very helpful, right? It's either multiple choice, where you can only pick one thing, which to me is not really multiple choice. It's multiple option, right? But it's not multiple choice. You don't get to choose multiple things. We need to change this to checkboxes. There we go. We need to change this to checkboxes. All right. Slowly and surely iterating our way there. Blah, 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 blah. Check the logic. 0. Why haven't you? This, 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 this. I'm just going back to double check. There's no randomize. Ah, there is. Shuffle option order. Description, response, validation. What's response? Show response validation. Select at least. Interesting. If you require a minimum number. So we're going to shuffle option order there. We're going to shuffle the option order here. And those are the only places. All right, it keeps getting better and better each time. Blah, 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 blah. 0 contests, you're gonna get the why haven't you? And these are randomly ordered with other as last. Cool. Then we skip to these questions. If you participated, blah, blah, blah. If you've participated, really should be optional, right? If you haven't participated, it sucks to say, I haven't done any. So let's fix that. For this, because the logic just is kind of annoying, let's just do that. That'll be simple. Yeah, reload. It's like Groundhog Day, going through the survey over and over, right? Oh yeah, these are definitely in a different order. Blah, blah, blah. Next. This one is not required. I would get some celebrity designers to participate and judge the contest. Anything else you want to say? Keep up the good work. Submit. Done. This automatically lets you submit another one. Can we turn that off? I bet in settings we can do that. So this is what's cool for the organizations. You can restrict it to an organization. You can limit to one response. You can give people a receipt of their responses. You can allow them to edit. And then you can allow them to see some summary charts and things. So that's cool. Presentation, show progress bar. Yes. Confirmation message. Thanks. You made this designer's day. Heart. I think that pasted. Well, I haven't. Do I have heart set up? I don't. Let me set that up real quick. I'm opening my Keyboard Maestro app on my Mac. I'll pull it up so you can see. And I have shortcuts for a lot of emoji that I use. So I can just type in and peace, and then I get this. So I'm gonna add one for heart. So I'm gonna duplicate, and I'm gonna find that heart. I think red heart is kind of the most common, so that's what I'm gonna go for. Heart, and then I'll put it here. And that's all golden. And now you see what I can do is I can very easily, I don't even need to have this keyboard viewer. I can just type in heart and nerd and boom, there we go. I'll use the info from this survey to make UX design contest better and better. Nice. All right, so I've got those options. Restrict to users, I don't want to do this. What does it mean, whitelist? Nah, it's too much work. I'm going to say no, but I could collect email addresses. I could force them, right? To see who responded. Coolio. I will let people edit after they submit. Why not? It's interesting. I could do an experiment. I could send Typeform to half of the mailing list, and I could send the Google form to the other half of the mailing list and see what the responses are like. And you can see my little data. And then I'll show you Typeform's data as well, because I did do a couple responses. So you can actually click to generate a report, and you get some pretty reports like this with little charts. Yeah, why doesn't it show open-ended questions? Now it does. Hi, what's your name? I would argue they could do formatting a little bit better. It's a ridiculously huge box for that text. What are they doing there? Setting height to 160 pixels. With all the padding they got on there. Actually, probably just set to 0. That looks that makes a lot more sense. Scanning. Even what would make more sense than that, though, honestly, is this. Oh, if you're curious what I'm doing, I suppose I can just show you. I've opened up Chrome DevTools and I'm just editing the styles. So padding, let's do 16 pixels, and let's do, I don't remember, sea green, seashell. That looks like a kind of a color, but just the wrong hue. It's kind of like that color, yeah, kind of. And let's do border radius, because we don't want to poke anyone's eye out, so we'll do let's do 8 pixels. I totally can't tell if those borders are rounded or not. And then we've got this control here. I'm going to do margin top 32 pixels, go even higher. I see it's actually it's literally gonna be a carousel. Like if there's other ones, you just flip through them. This is a lot easier to focus though. Oh, there's the color. There's the color I want. Hang on one second. I'm gonna nitpick this. Maybe that's not the color. Is it? I don't know. Oh yeah, it is. It just changed. That's cool. It's like changing as it comes into view, or maybe that's just my monitor. It doesn't seem right. see if I can grab it. There we go. That looks right. So you have those choice. Those are something I think to think about as well as you're thinking about your presentation and how you can save time. Like which of these reports, this is, Google does the text smart. Typeform does it really, makes it really stupid with this huge thing. It's just silly. You know, because presumably you can grab some, if they look good enough. I'd say these kind of things from Typeform this looks a lot nicer than. All right, let me get these next to each other so I can flip back and forth between them. This looks pretty ugly. Google's little chart there, let's say, is significantly uglier than Typeform's. Google does better at text responses in terms of making them look nice. So in the end, maybe you just are pulling a few of these things and styling them on your own real quickly, because there's nothing, they're not consistently awesome. I say like Usability Hub actually has even better ones in terms of results pages. Anyway, those are two of the survey tools. I don't know if I ever typed them in to chat yet, so typeform.com. I think I'm putting that in there. I don't see it though. Live chat, top chat, live chat. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. My chat, I don't even know how this works. My chat, well, you can see it now. My chat said top chat, which seems like it should be helpful. And then I just changed it to live chat, and now I see all these messages. I'm so sorry. Ralph and Michael. Let me answer your questions. Belated. Ralph asks, when trying to recruit users to interview online, should you use a screener? That's an interesting question, and I would say it depends. It depends on how well you know who is getting your email, right? For example, for the survey that I'm doing, I'm going to send this to the email list of people who signed up to be notified about UX design contests. Because I know this group of people, I'm not going to use a screener. I don't need to screen them and say like, hey, have you ever heard of uxdesigncontest.com? Right? Because that could be a screener question. If you're just blasting this out into the interwebs and trying to qualify people. So it really depends on who you're sending things to, Ralph. If you need to qualify people, like, hey, we only want to hear from people who drink bottled water, then you should probably have a screener question to help qualify those people. I will add a note about screener questions. They can be challenging. Like screener questions, if you come up with a screener question in like 5 seconds, you should probably double check and make sure that's a strong screener question. I would say weak screener questions are easy. Strong screener questions are more difficult. For example, if you only wanted to talk with people who drink bottled water, you might think, let me ask a screener question. Do you drink bottled water? Right? And that seems fairly reasonable, right? The challenge with that is, number one, it's a yes or no, right? So it's a 50-50 chance. If you have yes first, maybe people just are hitting the first thing and they're just passing your screener but not actually doing that. A better way is to come up with some more specific criteria. For example, do you want to talk with someone who has had a bottled water in their lifetime? Or do you want to talk with someone who drank, 3 bottled waters this week? So thinking about those multiple choice questions, giving a bunch of options and only making certain options the correct ones, or the ones that allow people to proceed. If you really want to get intense, you can add multiple layers of screener questions. That would be something used if you really want to narrow down on a very specific type of user. So, Ralph, I hope that answered your question. I hope you've been patient enough to hang out and you heard that. If not, I'm gonna take a note. Let's see, what time are we at? 7:35. 7:35. I responded to Ralph's question. And then Michael, I'm so sorry to you as well. I see you've got something in here. Let me read this. Just curious, in what way exactly would randomization de-incentivize a user to exhibit that behavior? Wouldn't they still be obliged to select the first one if they were, if that were their initial intention? Got it. Yes. I should clarify. So, this is when I was talking about why I'm randomizing the options. I may have misspoken, or at least I was confusing and not clear enough. So it's less about affecting the behavior and like stopping people from just going through and picking the first one. It's less about affecting that behavior. It's more about affecting the impact that behavior has. So if there's options are always randomized and everyone picks the first one, presumably it's going to be that those people doing that behavior are going to be spread randomly amongst people who are not doing that behavior. So the impact is going to be spread out rather than highly concentrated on a static set of options where if, let's say, 40% of people are going through and just trying to go through it really quickly and just picking the first one. If you had the same option first every time, then you're going to get a really strong signal, and that signal might not be accurate. So it's more about diffusing the strength of the signal from people who are doing that behavior. So yeah, that's a great point, Michael. You are very sharp, and I appreciate the observation and the question. I hope that helped clarify why it's still valuable to randomize. By randomizing, you minimize the bias of what appears first and what appears last, or what appears in the middle, like the placement of things. Just removes that bias. All right, so I do see my Typeform link. I'm going to try to shoot a Google Forms link in here as well, so we can use that. Responded to Michael's question. Now I know. I'm going to have to make sure this always shows stuff in live chat. Oh, cool. Why? It doesn't scroll. What is going on? So now I see Ralph has said something, but the only reason I saw it is because I typed something in. Ralph says, what if you go to forums, social media, etc. that is related to your topic, and you let them know that you're looking to interview people? Would a screener make more sense in this case? I think the unsatisfying but strong answer is depends still, right? Because the whole idea of a screener is you use a screener when it's really important that you're talking to a very specific type of person, especially a person who has done specific behaviors, right? So if you're going onto these forums, right, or you're in different social media channels where you have high confidence that, you know, almost 100% of people fit the criteria that you're looking for, then you would be less interested or less likely to use a screener because it probably wouldn't help that much, right? I think the question you can ask yourself, maybe, Ralph, is in this group that I'm planning to survey, right? If I took 100 people from this group and I asked them my screener question, what percentage of that 100 would like pass the screener, right? If your answer is like 100 out of 100, then you probably don't need the screener question because you've already found that niche audience. If it's broader or you just don't know, it doesn't hurt to do a screener question. I would recommend not doing anything more than a single screener question. So think about how you can be smart with a screener question, make it easy. It could also be, you could also think about asking qualifying questions as well. They don't necessarily have to be screener questions per se, right? I'll try to pull it back to an example that I can show, right? In the survey that I designed tonight, one of my questions was around this. How many UX design contests have you entered? And I have different options, right? So this is not a screener question per se because no matter what someone answers, they get to go and continue and add more value to the survey. However, it is a qualifying question, and I do have the ability to look at, let me see the people who participated in many contests versus people who participated in fewer contests, and how are their answers different. It could be very interesting. Maybe I find that people who are motivated by prizes, right, maybe participated in many more or many fewer than people who are motivated by intrinsic motivations. And Ralph says, so you don't have to be too specific when doing research. I'm not sure I understand 100% what you're getting at there. You don't have to be too specific when doing research. I'm trying to think of how I can answer that in a way that's very helpful. I mean, if you think about the research that I'm doing, right? I have a group of people. I have this mailing list, right, of people who have signed up to get notified about UX design contests. So this is an audience. I know the number of people who have participated in the contest, and it's way, 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 way less than the number of people in the mailing list. So I know right out of the bat that the majority of people, if they choose the survey, are going to put 0. Like, that would be the honest answer for most people in the list. But I don't feel the need to like narrow down on those people specifically, because I'm using this survey as an opportunity to learn about why not and why, both of those questions. So I think the goal, Ralph, is to be only as specific as you need to be, because the more specific you get, the more challenging it can be to find those people. And if you have a smaller data set in terms of responses, it can be harder to have confidence or get inspired on what to do next. All right. How am I going to report this Typeform bug? I think I'm going to set up a screencast. I'm going to record my screen replicating the bug so I can send it to them. By the way, Ralph, you should. I really hope you're gonna participate in this contest because I think you do awesome at it. I'd really love to see your research. All right, what am I doing? I'm recording the screen. Let's see. Can I think I'm gonna capture the link, just showing that's Typeform, just in case it's helpful. Okay, and I'm gonna record my mic. And I'm gonna go ahead and record. Hey Typeform, this is Adam Ruff, one of your longtime customers and a huge fan. And I'm afraid I might have discovered a bug. So I'm gonna go through and try to replicate it right now. I just created this survey for UX Design Contest. And the bug that I'm finding has to do with multiple choice questions in a row. I'm just going to play along. So here's where things go badly. If I say D, now I'm on the second multiple choice question. I haven't touched anything on my keyboard yet. Now I'm going to press A. A. Look what happened. So what happened, you can't actually see it because I have this logic jump, but it changed the question. So the first time when I entered D, it didn't actually give this question focus. So I can't, if I press A again, I'll have to scroll up to show you, but that's what's happening. So this is a problem for me because I want to give people a great experience. The way that you've set up the keyboard shortcuts is excellent, but if it doesn't work, it's going to cause problems. So please look into this and fix this as quickly as you can, because I would love to get this survey out tomorrow. Thank you. I don't know why I'm doing this. You can't actually see me, but I'm making little praying hands and hoping that you'll help with this. Thanks, Typeform. Love ya. All right. Now I've got my little video to send to Typeform. Now we go to the best channel ever when you need help. Twitter, right? Actually, wait. I should go to myself. I think they have Twitter support. Tweet at Typeform help. I found a bug with multiple choice questions with logic jumps. I'm attaching a video showing the issue. Check out the video below to see the issue I encountered. Let's add the video. I gotta save it. So open the editor. Let me just play it back a little bit of this. And my whole intro is gone. And the bug that I'm finding has to do with multiple choice questions in a... And the bug Alright, it works. Whatever. Let me find some space on my desktop. Come on, desktop. Whoa, there's a lot of stuff on my desktop. Olivia, hey. Nice to see you. Olivia says, hi, Adam. Sometimes I had difficulties in recruiting target audience when sharing it out on her networks or using Snowball. What's Snowball? Now I'm curious. You may have just turned me on to something new. Do you have any recommended platform where you can recruit certain types of people? Maybe, Olivia. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to open up a link and I'm going to Ethnio. I'm going to paste this link in chat for you, Olivia. Actually, while I finish up this tweet, and then I want to talk a little bit about Ethnio and see if it might be something that works for you. Please fix or tell me how to work around the bug. Thanks. Peace. Should we do a nerd piece? Of course we should. Oh no. Alright, so I've got the video. Nice, and there it is. Help. Yelp. Help. Help. Cool. All right. Sent the video. Oh, come on. It's coming. It's doing it. It's doing its thing. Go Twitter. You can do it. Even you. It is pretty nice putting the progress bar right up there. Yes, I did it. Okay, cool. So now I can focus on Olivia's question a little bit more. Recruiting target audience. So Ethnio is cool. It's basically a way that you can intercept people on a website or on mobile to participate in, right, phone interview, usability study, whatever it is. So this is something that you might want to look into. I don't know if you're asking this for the contest or if you're asking this for something that you're doing at work or on a professional project. If you have some sort of website or web app, I would check out this Ethnio. So this is a way of basically recruiting people who are already going to that site or using that app. That sounds like it might be helpful. Other than that, trying to think of what else. I mean, I feel like I need to ask more questions, Olivia. Like, who are you trying to recruit? Are you trying to recruit users of a platform? Are you trying to recruit people with specific behavior characteristics? I mean, Facebook, doing Facebook ads. I actually have a friend who's a product manager working with Facebook advertising stuff and audience targeting. And I think that's one of the powerful ways to reach people. You can narrow down a lot on different niches. I'm not sure if I don't really want to log into my Facebook. account on here right now, but let me see if I can do like an incognito mode to just like show something about Facebook advertising. Let's see if they have some sort of like public page. I'm gonna pull this up here and I'm gonna look for, oh, maybe you can't actually get started. No, it asks you to log in. Can you do anything? Resources, ads guide. People insights, here we go. Maybe not. Maybe that's not what I'm looking for. Audiences, these are all like, this sort of looks like exactly the same thing. Anyways, we don't have too much time to dive into Facebook advertising, but trust me on this, Olivia. Go into Facebook, go to the advertising. You can pick like gender, age, geography, interests, all kind of stuff. So if you're looking for just like general audience stuff, and you have some budget, right, head over to Facebook. If you have low budget, and it's convenient for you, go to a place where people are passive. Go to coffee shops. Go to, I don't know who you're looking for, so go to where those people are. And one of the lines I always love to use, and I encourage everyone to do this, is say, introduce yourself like, hi, good afternoon. I'm a student doing some research on blah, blah, blah. Do you have 10 minutes to help me? You'd be amazed at how many people are open to helping students. So even if you're not a student, I use that all the time. I'm not a student. That's one of my go-tos. So hopefully that little tidbit could help as well. All right, we've only got a few minutes left. Are there any other last minute questions or things that people wanted to share? Olivia says only a couple for interviews, but can I guess it means can't find enough for survey? Cannot. Aha. She's fast typing. Cannot find enough for survey. Interesting. So is this for the contest? For survey contest? Because one of the things that I'd like to do is try to get a list of people who are participating in the contest. Maybe even open up the mailing list. Ooh, that's an idea. If it's for the contest, I'm just gonna go back to the contest page. So when I'm talking about the contest, we can see the contest. If it's for this, I think something that I could do is say, hey, Olivia, if you have a link to a survey and you're participating in this contest, Ralph, everyone else, Michael, everyone's welcome. Anyone who watches this is participating in the contest. Send me a link to your survey, and what I can do is I can help you solicit participation. Like, I definitely want to do it. That's one thing. I should put that on here. Like, I'm a free survey participant. Like, I'll do whatever survey you have. So send it to me, and then I'll look at sharing it around as well. Other than that, I think like tweeting can be effective, especially if you pick out a few people who have large audiences. Give them a little love. Say, hey, you really like this or that or something they did helped you, and yeah, you'd really love to get more responses for the survey. Here's something you're doing. Retweeting is a super easy way for someone with a large audience to have a helpful impact on someone, and it's such a low cost, right? So never underestimate the power of asking politely and being nice to people and asking for help from people with big audiences on Twitter. It doesn't take that many retweets to start getting some help for your surveys. All right, it is 8 o'clock, and that means that this stream is coming to an end. So I want to give a quick... There's a lot of people who have subscribed recently to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Too many to name, but just know that I do see when you subscribe, and I appreciate it so much. Thanks to Ralph being an awesome anchor, showing up consistently, asking good questions, and getting engaged. I love it. Thank you so much, Ralph. Bansari and Michael and Olivia, thank you for letting me know that chat is alive and also bringing the good questions and getting some discussion going. Hopefully we can do this a little bit more next week as well. The focus next week, again, will be taking the responses I get from my survey, analyzing them, synthesizing them, and then getting them into a cool and helpful research study presentation. That's right. That's what we're going to be focusing on next week. Until then, be good, drink water, and happy designing. Good night, everyone.